You just had a quote about how God shows up when you question him.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Our questions are not bigger than like he can handle. He created us. It's like, I think he probably loves it when we come to him for questions. Because the truth is, if we don't go to him, we're going somewhere else to answer that question. We will choose to find answers somewhere because your mind has to have a story. So either hunt down the answers and get the real story, or you're going to make up one to try to satisfy the need.
What do you think the importance of service is?
Especially in like college setting, and it's normal, but everything is about your studies and your work schedule and your goals and what are you going to be when you know, and so to actually serve outside yourself.
If there was something that someone would take away, what's something that you would want to leave with them? Welcome back to another episode of Ministry Reimagined. This was an interesting episode because Teela didn't grow up inside of the church. She never envisioned her life to be working in ministry, but she spent so many years in different jobs that she never would have expected working in ministry. She gave great insight on learning to be okay with being uncomfortable, stepping outside of your comfort zone. This was overall just a fun conversation that we had, learning more about how God has used her and is continuing to use her in her life. Hi, Teela. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for inviting me here. I'm excited. It's an honor.
Of course. I'm so excited. Thank you for feeling honored.
Yeah.
Even though you haven't heard of my podcast at all.
I did a little online stalking. No, I did.
Okay. What'd you find?
That this was new, at least this one. But I'm
Yes.
glad you told me your old one because now I can go hunt that down.
How would you describe yourself if you... Well, I mean, we just met, so I guess how would you introduce yourself to me?
Ooh, yeah. I would probably start telling you like things I love and then let you kind of paint the picture. So I'm a busybody. I love sports. I love animals with all my heart.
What kind of sports?
Literally almost every sport. If I could have been a professional athlete, it would have been. So right now I'm training for like a high rocks and a triathlon. Both because I haven't chosen which one I want to do yet.
Oh, man.
Haven't signed up, but it's going to be one of those.
Wow.
Yeah, I like to stay active, busy. If anything new, I get on a new kick, and that's just it for a couple weeks, and then I find something else new. So I like to be busy.
That's good.
I like animals. Love my family.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a
Very
good life.
Do you find that being a busybody, do you find that it's hard to stick to something?
Yes, absolutely. I am the worst at that. It definitely, things really trend for a couple weeks, and I'll be obsessed with it, and all my searches and chat and everything is just filled with that topic, and then something new pops up and I'm like, oh, let's go that way.
Yeah.
Some call it ADHD. I think it's just having many passions.
I like that.
I'm just gonna go with it.
I like that. That's how I am with tennis right now. Tennis is my big
yeah.
fixation right now.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yet.
Yet.
You have time.
Not yet.
It's good.
Until I get my new fixation on the next
right.
hobby,
But see, we'll be versattle that way. That's the way to do it.
Good at many things.
Honestly, and it's helpful because also you can relate to people if you know a little bit. I feel like tennis. I've played 3 times, but I could maybe hold a conversation about tennis,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good conversation starters. It's fun.
Just to be good at everything. Or at least
Tried at everything, right?
Yeah, tried everything.
Right.
Yeah. Are you big into snow sports? I know those are coming up soon.
Yeah. I'm a snowboarder, but I'm kind of like a social snowboarder. So I'm not super hardcore, but if the crew is going,
you'll go.
Count me in. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I like that, bro. My family are big skiers.
Oh.
So I tried snowboarding. I don't know how people do it.
Oh, really? It's
I
vice
went down
versa.
The bunny hill, I fell 10 times on one go.
Okay, but here's the thing about snowboarding is there's just one thing to hit yourself on. I tried skiing and they were stabbing me as I rolled down, both of them. That was painful.
Falling
oh my
is
goodness.
A lot worse.
Yeah. You said it's worse. Yeah.
Yes.
You admit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Skis you can split this way, but
I
snowboarding
know.
you just fall on your butt.
Yeah, nobody tells you this when you go skiing. They're like, it's better, do it. No. Dark side.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah.
I know, from what I do know about you, even though we just met.
Yeah.
I know that you worked in missions for the longest time.
Probably
Not
feels
the
like
longest
that. Probably feels like that. Yeah. 7 years. It's true.
7? Oh, I heard 15 from somewhere.
Oh, okay. So I've been here at Andrews or here. See, I still say here. It's weird. But I was 7 years as a dean.
Okay.
And then 7 years in missions.
Oh, did you grow up in AU area?
I did. I went to, okay. No, I'm not from down here. I'm from northern Michigan. So it's very different. No, yeah, can't claim Berrien. But But yes, I think I've lived here longer now, which is weird, but
Okay.
I haven't claimed it yet, even though it's beautiful. I live like 10 minutes from the beach. I need to claim this as home, but I'm still like, I'm going up north to home. But
wow, even after all these years, you still don't count this as home?
I know, it's weird.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Why do you think you don't want to claim it? Is it so bad?
No, it's just that Berrien is like, it's like an area. People come for a few years and then they leave, right? So in my mind, I'm still leaving. I just haven't yet. It will come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I stayed here 15 years, which was, it went so fast. So.
Wow. What was the switch from working as a dean to missions? How did that happen?
Yeah. So I had been a dean 7 years, and when I started, I had been super inspired by the deans that were in the dorm during my time, and I was like, I want to be like them. I want to change girls' lives and like be there during the rough times, right? Because it's different than it was now, but like, guess when breakups happen? Guess when you get bad news? Like, honestly, it's in the night, it's in the evenings, and to be able to be there for someone then was one of the reasons I was really called to it. But my prayer going in was, God, please don't leave me here so long that I become like complacent and that I stopped trying new things and just pushing the boundaries and reaching out. And I had felt like that was maybe I was getting too comfortable. Maybe a little bit. So I didn't go looking even, actually. Change Day had just started. If you know what Change Day is? Do you know?
We don't do that anymore.
I know, we don't. But Change Day had just started, and they were looking for someone to run it. And I loved community engagement, so I was like, just kind of like, I inquired. I was like, hey, what is this like? And they're like, you want it? Do you want to do it? Do that in missions. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So, yeah.
Was it like a no-brainer acceptance for you?
It was really, it's how God kind of works in my life, right? If I want a job and I apply, I'm never getting that job. But if it's what's meant to be, it's like he just opens every door and the position just slides. I don't know.
Like it'll come to you.
Yeah, I talk to him about this a lot. It's a little frustrating sometimes. But yeah, it was just clear that was the way to do. It was the next move for me. And it was good.
That's good.
Yeah. 7 years later. Yep.
That's good. Wow, that's like a lucky number for you, I guess. After every 7 years.
I know. I'm really wondering. I'm like, okay, what happens in the next 7 years? Like, I guess there's something.
That's funny. No, you'll be great.
We'll see.
When you look back at your life, did you always know that you wanted to work in missions or in like the Christian world?
Wow, no. So my family, I didn't grow up Adventist. They're not Christian at all. So the goals for me, and I'm very personality A, so everything is planned out in life, okay? The goals for me were financial stability, all that money, all that house, all that security, right? What everybody tells you, that's what's going to make you happy. Yeah. So I worked for the first, honestly, 20 years of my life on that one goal, right? Set up everything, beautiful resume. And then, actually, it was really interesting because God actually kind of gave me everything I was looking for. I got this awesome job that paid a ton of money. Had the boyfriend that I wanted, had the car that I wanted. It was what I thought I wanted, really. But I would wake up in the night and I was having panic attacks, and I was like overwhelmed with this just feeling of like dread of like, is this it? Is this what life is? Like, it doesn't get any better than what I thought I wanted, right? Because I had it all. And then it was a really dark time. It was like my rock bottom, right? And then I actually came back to Andrews to finish a different degree. And then in the dorm, I started working with some of the deans just for a side hustle job. And then they kind of introduced me to this other side of God, right? Because like I knew like Christian atmosphere, but it wasn't real to me or at all. And honestly, like I just found Jesus in this way that just like the peace that he brings. We don't share this enough, right? Like, because the peace is unreal. I was so just lost in myself and in the world, and like, oh my gosh, it just 180'd my life. So I didn't care. Well, I did care about the money. Okay, because you got 20 years of like one goal, and they were like, hey, do you want to work in ministry? And I was like, my family was like, no, that's crazy. Why would you make that kind of money when you could make this? Like, that's stupid, right? Yeah. And I kind of had both sides tugging at me. And then, honestly, I just knew that if I wanted this peace, like, and I had experienced this peace, I wanted to do it for someone else, right? Because I felt like, oh my gosh, like it's just crazy that we're not like telling people this and showing people like God is so much love. And yeah, so that started ministry for me. Yeah. And then obviously it like deepened and evolved in different ways. But it was nowhere on my radar.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was a 180 of life for sure. Yeah.
When you were working or, working your way up or had that vision in your head, what did you feel like you were missing? Because like you said, you felt like you had everything that you ever wanted, but what was missing?
Honestly, but that was the problem, right? Was that nothing was missing that I could see or that was tangible. Sorry. Yeah, it's just really hard to articulate it because there was nothing missing that I could find. It just was this overwhelming feeling of dread and depression and this is it. You've peaked in life. You're just going to work and spend your money on these temporary highs is really what it is, right? Yeah. Whatever you could find. And it just wasn't satisfying. That's really what it was, right? Mm-hmm. There was no satisfaction in life. There was no purpose in life. Because if you're just living to have fun and die, like it wasn't enough for me. Mm-hmm. I knew then, I didn't know how to articulate it, but I was built for more than that. Yeah. Just didn't know what it was. Yeah.
Do you feel like you now know what it is?
I think it evolves because I'm in a transition time right now, right? But I know, I'm set in a purpose for sure now. Like everybody breathing on this earth has something, right, to offer or something that makes them uniquely them that they can use to better the world. I really believe that. And so I know a lot of my gifts right now. It's like, okay, I just transitioned 6 months ago, so where to use them all? Yeah. But that's kind of fun now because I know that answer will come. Whereas before, is it coming? Is there more to this? So, yeah, it's a fun new stage.
That's good. I'm glad you find the fun in it because it can feel very lost and redirected, but
yeah, it's like the solid foundation thing. Yeah. It's really real, right? We hear about it, but you're like, oh, okay, my foundation is in God. I know He's going to take care of me. Mm-hmm. I know I have, I'm loved, I'm cared for. I have gifts and talents. It's just where now. Mm-hmm. The anxiety still comes, but then you just real about it, right? Okay, it's going to come. Be patient.
That's really cool. How you feel more stability now, even though you're in that transition place, than before when you felt like you had everything.
That's true. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very backwards from what you'd think. But
no, that's good.
It's God logic. That's what I like. It's cool. It's cool.
That's funny. You mentioned something about purpose, and I'm curious. Yeah. Do you find that purpose is solely related to your occupation and what you do?
That is a really great question that I've actually been talking with some of my friends about because for me, they're very intertwined. I don't think it has to be. And I literally one of my best friends is has her perfect set in ministry and purpose and it doesn't matter about her job at all. I cannot even fathom that. So I think it's personality because I'm an all-in person. So if I'm doing something, it's literally everything I'm doing. It's my thoughts. It's my literally everything tailors to that. And what takes up most of your time? Work, usually in the day, right? So I think for me, there has to be purpose in what I'm doing most of the day, a bigger purpose, not just, I made some money today. That's not enough for me anymore.
That's good.
Yeah.
This might feel personal, and you don't feel free. You don't have to
go for it. It's okay.
Because you said you didn't grow up Adventist.
Yeah.
How did your parents feel when you made that change?
Yes. So my dad was he didn't have any religion or anything like that. So he's quiet about his yes, and so he was quiet, but he's not quiet. You just kind of know, and it didn't make sense. That was evident to him. My sister, I have an older sister, and so it was always be a nurse because you're going to make money and you'll always be able to get a job, and it was the smart thing to do. For me, I went into business school, and that was smart. Didn't have to worry. They were like, "Oh, good, she's fine," and then I got them later. So yeah, it was quiet disapproval, and honestly, I don't know that there was a lot of. I couldn't articulate then what God was doing in my life. because I was trying to figure it out myself, and because they weren't in a place where they could understand it, right? My mom's kind of supportive no matter what I'm doing, right? And I think what they saw after I started was just that, like, I was just in love with my job, right? And it meant so much to me. And once they saw that I was in, like, that place, they still didn't understand the money side. They were always asking some questions there, but they were supportive of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the money thing is that big of a difference, that's
Yeah.
like a driving factor for some people to work in ministry or not.
Yeah. Well,
That's crazy.
and it's getting extreme though. Like, I mean, you look at like pastors' salaries and that kind of thing. It's crazy. Like, it's hard enough to make it in this economy right now, but it's not livable wages, and that's going to become more of a conversation, I think, personally.
Wow.
Because you have to be able, and like, God provides, but let's not put ourselves in a position where like he needs to like save us out of, like, I don't know. That's some struggle for sure.
When you think about your work in missions, why do you think missions is so important?
Ooh, that was fun. I didn't know, I'll be honest. I faked it till I made it. The first, I said that backwards, but the first year, because I honestly, when I was a student here, I don't know that I knew that missions existed, which was good for me because I was like, we need to advertise more, for sure. But missions, it can do so much, and it was such a cool thing to get to see the students before they left, right? And I'm doing like personal interviews with them and hearing their like spiritual needs, spiritual thoughts, like personal, emotional, psychological, like we go in depth with interviews. So you kind of get an idea for where the student is before they go. And then when they come back, it's the same like exit interview. It is mind-blowing. Like it didn't, everybody's story was different, right? So it's not like there's like a yay success story, but it's the journey that God takes every single person through. You can leave like not knowing this whole side of yourself, and just traveling internationally, you're going to learn something. Working with other people and other cultures, you're definitely going to learn something about yourself. And God's going to show up if you start questioning him. And somehow outside of the U.S., when you're alone and crying in your room and like culture shocked, like there's some really intense conversations that you're having with God, and he shows up. So the change that happens is an opportunity that is super rare. We're super comfortable here, right? Our level of discomfort is nothing compared to what you can do if you leave and put yourself in the mission field. And that makes you grow in different ways. So just that aspect alone, it's like, do it while you can. Missions is huge. And missions is so broad when I say that. That was a big thing for me when I started, because I didn't want it to just be this one view of missions. Like, missions looks like anything, right? Like, you're doing podcasts. This is your ministry. This is your mission. And it's awesome. This is your talent. Like, people box themselves in real quick when it comes to mission. And I don't like that. Like, I tried to have a lot of good conversation about, like, what do you like to do? Work with elephants? Let's try to find a place. And there are places where you can work with elephants. So, like, these are mission fields. Like, I just don't want to box anybody in. But everybody should do it.
That's good. I have a lot of questions with that, but one of them, you just had a quote about how God shows up when you question him.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I think, well, it's always, we develop thoughts from our own experiences, right? I can have like the typical day devotions, right? And I can pray and be in my normal pattern. But the whole God draws near to the brokenhearted is so real. It's so real. And I've experienced it, unfortunately, a lot in my life. But like when you are in your lowest, you're going to see God show up. And I don't know why he has to wait till we're that humble, right? Till we're that desperate sometimes. But more likely to show up then, I feel like, if you really want to experience God, make yourself uncomfortable. I don't know. I can't explain it. That's just how I've experienced it.
No, that's good. I think stepping out of your comfort zone is a big thing.
Yeah.
I've heard actually the opposite. I've heard a lot of people say, when it comes to questioning God, I've heard people not say that you shouldn't question him, but more of just like, they kind of just don't have the answers, and so you just kind of don't question. But I like that you find value in the questions.
That's interesting you've heard that.
Yeah.
And it's sad, actually, to me. I'm sorry for whoever, I mean, but honestly, it's that belief that we put ourselves above God when we do that, right? Because our questions are not bigger than like he can handle. He created us. It's like this little kid asking us a question and being scared of that interaction. Like, I think there's beauty in it. I think he probably loves it when we come to him for questions, right? Because the truth is, if we don't go to him, we're going somewhere else to answer that question. And that probably dives into like the mental health side of the world, but honestly, it's real. We will choose to find answers somewhere because your mind has to have a story, right? That's how our brains work. They will develop a story. So either hunt down the answers and get the real story, or you're going to make up one to try to satisfy the need. It's interesting.
Yeah.
What? I feel like there's questions and you're choosing between them.
Yes, that is always what happens. I'm thinking about, well, this is also just kind of a me being curious question.
Yeah.
When you were working in missions and you had students come up to you and be like, hey, I don't know where I want to serve, but I know I want to serve. How do you decide? Like, do you help them know like where to go, or how does that process work?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, like 99% of the people don't know where they want to go.
Yeah.
And honestly, it starts out with me giving them like this website that has like 1 trillion places they can go. And I tell them beforehand, like, this is going to overwhelm you. But the places you don't want to go are as helpful as the places you do. And you kind of narrow it down. But honestly, there's been some times where like we just pray over it and then something pops up, and that's weird, but I love it.
Wow.
It'll just be like this thing of like, hey, you know what? I feel like you'd be a good fit in Peru. Just explore this, right? Because the student has to choose.
Yeah.
And part of that is strategic, because you're going to choose where you want to grow, right? And then you can't blame it on anybody else but yourself, because you chose that.
Yeah.
But also there's been times, Jordan Magacat, do you know who? Okay, so he was a student here, and his story is incredible. He loves to tell it, and I do too, because he was planning to go to a different island, and it was during the COVID times, and they switched him last minute. Like, he was in Guam, and they said, hey, we can't get you there because the border just closed. Do you want to go home, or do you want to go to Kosherai? And he's like, well, I guess I'll go to Kosherai, right? But like, he's literally went back now. Like, it changed his life forever. So I always told the students, I was like, you can choose, but God's going to put you where he wants you and where you're going to grow the most.
Did he feel like it was the right place for him to go?
Oh yeah, like he's obsessed with this, and he just like fell in love with the culture. So it's so cool to see that kind of thing.
Wow.
There's been a couple of those.
Interesting.
But it's cool. Yeah. That's the fun side of missions, that like as a director I get to see those things.
Yeah.
But I feel like not everybody gets to know them, and it's always like, I wish I could get that out there. But yeah.
Well, I will say you've done a great job with the marketing part of it, because
Oh boy.
you said like before you were in there wasn't any marketing in it. Like, no one even knew it existed.
I didn't know, at least when I was a student. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. But now I think every student knows that student missions is at least an option.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. That's good, because part of it too was like, you don't want it to just be this clique, right? This, I'm religious enough, or I'm not too, like you have to fit in this box. It needs to be an opportunity for every student. Take it or leave it. It just should be your option, right? Especially as Andrews University. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you think every student is built to serve in missions?
That's an interesting worded question. Is built to serve. I like that. That's good. I believe that everyone is built to serve. I don't know that it necessarily means the way that Andrews sets it up, right? Like I said, we box missions in. So yes, everyone is made to serve in some capacity, and they have to find that out for themselves of where their niche is, right? Like, if you're breathing, God created you for something. You're not just here, randomly. Like, you have a purpose. But where? That's kind of a hunt that they have to go on. Like I said, I didn't do missions in college, but after college, I did disaster relief, and I served with refugees in Greece, and like, that was a niche that I didn't realize I was set up for, but like, took my heart, left it there, and everybody has that. It's just finding it.
Yeah.
But also in college, this is like a prime time, right? Because high school, you're kind of too young to go. You don't really know yourself well enough. But these 4, 5, 6 years in college, like, that you're freer than you will be with responsibilities and relationships and just life, So if you're going to go, it's a great time to go. Do it.
Shameless plug.
Right?
You don't even work there anymore.
I know, but you should go.
That's funny. That's good. This is a bit controversial.
Ooh, good.
But I've heard some people, when they talk about missions, they kind of associate some people, especially when they choose to go to like some of the island, like paradise places, that it can be associated with like selfish motives. Do you find that some people, like if people come to your office, are you like, they don't really have the right mindset to do this? You don't have to name drop.
No. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it. Because yes, but I don't share that belief. Like there's two mindsets. For one, like if you're in the office talking about missions, there's a lot of different reasons to go, right? And if you want to go and surf on an island for a year, and you're still going to be teaching little kids, and you're still going to be seeing an impoverished culture, and you're still going to be like, you're going to be exposed to things you weren't. And I believe that so far, any of the students I've interacted with, like, you're going to grow, and God's going to use you whether you know it or not. So I hear that. I just don't know that there's a bad reason to be involved in it. Now, saying that, I didn't have any bad students go out and do anything crazy while I was out there. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So I guess that might open my mind to different things. But honestly, I think if you walk in the office and you sit down and you're talking about service and you go through the training of service, there is something in you that thinks that you can either learn from it or that you can be a difference in something. And if you want to have fun along, like, service is not supposed to be boring. Like, God takes you on adventures, so go surf. You know, like, you can do both. It's two truths, you know? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? You agree with it? Disagree?
I do. I was actually talking to, I just did a podcast with Sophia Udry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And she was talking about her experience because she had a bit of a rough time, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, we were just talking about how whatever their motives were to go and do it, they're still there. They still went, and they still, decided that they should serve. So I think no matter where they go, it's still, because even those places, she did say, because you guys have like a reconnecting after they've been abroad, like not abroad, I guess abroad, after they've been abroad, to kind of talk about what happened and all that stuff. And she found that even those people that went to those paradise places, they still struggled.
You bet. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think I agree.
Yeah. It's a challenging circumstance. Like, it's not easy. We used to send students to Hawaii, and they always had trouble fundraising because it's Hawaii. And they're like, what needs are in Hawaii? Like, you're just going to have fun. Well, but actually, there's actually quite a few needs in Hawaii. It's just, it's different perspectives. People kind of judging service is really what it is, right? You can be a blessing anywhere. Andrews needs missionaries. Like, there's a lot of lonely people here. Like, what are we doing?
Very true.
Honestly. So, yeah.
That brings in another question. Do you think you have to go and do something crazy big and go abroad to do missions?
No, not at all. No, like, I think every student at Andrews, this is one of our, we make these goals every year, and one of them was that every student should have to volunteer at least once, right? Because you get a taste for what missions ministry could look like for you. I met a lot of students here that had never volunteered in their life. And that's okay, because college is made for new experiences, right? But I think we find ourselves in serving others, and I think God planned that. I don't think it's something random. I think it's intentional on his part. So ministry looks very different for everyone, and there are definitely needs literally everywhere you go. So, yeah, as long as your eyes are open and your heart is open, you can find a way to do ministry. We speak of it so broad, and that's hard.
Very true.
Yeah.
What do you think the importance of service is?
The importance of service.
Or I guess, what are the benefits?
Well, they're so multidimensional, though. Like, I can't articulate it, but I've always known that when I serve, God, like, pours this, like, emotional blessing on me. Like, I feel like I'm living in my purpose. Like, I feel happy, honestly, after I serve, right? Yeah. There's that side of it, of meeting someone in need and actually feeling that you have done something with purpose. I think we need that selfishly, right? It feels selfish, but it's actually not. God created us to serve. But I also think that when you start to serve, you have to open your eyes, right? Like you have to see a need and you have to meet it. And so you have to think creatively and you have to do these different things. Actually, Change Day was such a huge learning curve for me in that, right? Because finding volunteer opportunities for 1,500 people was, and honestly, 1,500 skills though, right? Like there's so many ways to serve. And that's what we really wanted to show. It was really important. You're going to get a blessing when you serve. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I know it happens. I don't know.
Yeah. There's something about doing things outside of yourself and just having a time where you don't think about yourself. Like other people's needs come first. I think that's a very big learning curve for a lot of people.
I'm glad you said that. That's true, because it's true, especially in like college setting, and it's normal, but everything is about your studies and your work schedule and your goals and what are you going to be when you know, and so to actually serve outside yourself, good for physical health, good for mental health, good for emotional health, you know, good for social skills, like everything. It really benefits us. It really does.
Sure,
yeah.
I want to ask about how you feel about Change Day. Now, if you feel like that's too controversial, feel free, you don't have to answer it. But I'm curious, what do you think?
No, it's great now. Like, I don't work there anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, what do you think about, because we canceled it. I don't even remember why, but.
Yeah. You know, like a lot of it is logistics of why it got canceled. So I was part of those conversations. And I love Change Day with all my heart. But, like, look at the economy. We saw massive changes in liability issues. That was huge. And in finances. We had this budget set, and it stayed the same for 7 years. And if you've watched any kind of the economy, like, that's not doable, right? And that was a big part of the conversation of, hey, can we make this happen for that amount of money? And honestly, since I was doing it, the answer was no for me. Like, I can't. Like, literally, I think the CAF charged us like $10,000 for lunches, and that's like over half the budget. Okay, like, you have to feed the people. I can't get around that. And there are contracts where we couldn't go around that. So that was just one of the issues. The other thing was manpower for the office. So it was me doing student missions and Change Day. Both incredible programs, and I'm so honored to work for both. But when I started missions, there was 7 or 8 missionaries going out a year, which was awesome. But the last 2 years, we had 30, 36.
That's crazy.
And just paperwork for that and training for that. It doesn't sound like very many, but when you're doing the typical recruiting events and then supporting those in the field, those who have just come back, and those that are going out, I'm just one person. And everything and timing fell at the same time, right? Students go out in August, Change Days in September. I was working, the year before we closed it, I worked 80 hours for 6 weeks in a row. And I was not a good person at the end of that. Like, genuinely for myself, I was like, this is not healthy. This is not who I want to be as a person, right? It was just affecting everything. It's a really good problem, because what happened is we outgrew one person planning it. But we realized that the hard way. So it was 2 things. It was, hey, can we up this budget so that there can be more staffing, there can be more help, there can be more food money? And then with missions, I really think, and they've done that this year, it's the coolest thing. So someone is dedicated to student missions, because my job was part-time Change Day, part-time student missions. And like, it's not safe to have that many students out in the field and nobody to support them, you know? So I'm glad they've changed that now.
Do you think you would have stayed working in missions if they did that sooner?
It wasn't part of the reason, actually, I stepped away, because things were changing last year. We have more support for missions than we have ever had on this campus. And it's so beautiful. Like, it's super cool. But for me, the 7 years, I had, like I said, I went all in, 80 hours a week, 7 years. And so what I was asking myself, and I asked God, like, hey, can I muster all this all in again, right? Because I don't want to do a job halfway. It's all or nothing. So, and for me, I didn't think I could. I was like, I'm too old. You need somebody young. You need some new ideas. Like, but really, like, you need some new ideas in here, because every recruiting or marketing or, you know, like, here's the Instagram challenges I want to put out. We'd done them. I just didn't. I didn't have the inspiration, and I again, my biggest fear is like staying in a position just to hold the position. I don't want to be that. Nope. People, man, they need to get out if they're like bored of the job. You know what I mean? Like, get out of the way. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to remove myself. So it's bittersweet because my heart, I love it here. And Andrews was good to me. But I think I made a good decision. I think, Rebecca's the new director. She's a rock star. She's going to do good things. And I hear rumors of Change Day, but I know they're fundraising. So
good.
That's the big challenge.
Yeah, I know. Change Day was a big thing when we heard that it got canceled. We were like, well, how can we be world changers if we can't even have a day where we change
I know.
locally, But
it should be every day, right?
Very true. It shouldn't just be a day.
Yeah,
that's good. At least having one day, though, where people can just look outside of themselves and not be super self-centered.
It was fun to do it together with everybody like that. I think one of the models they're talking about is breaking it up to have like quarters, and like different departments will go out on a day instead of everybody all at once. It might work. See, fresh ideas. Somebody's got to come up with something better. But
that's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
When you think about serving, in ministry and missions, wherever, do you think that some people can have selfish motives?
Yeah, we're human. I mean, I had some selfish motives too. It doesn't. I think it's hard for us not to. I think it's the challenge of the world to stay connected with God. So he can humble you too. I think it's easy to do that. It doesn't matter where or what position, right? We automatically kind of turn to ourselves, and without people, a good group of people reminding you, or accountability of like, hey, when you want to be growing in this, like a growth mindset, that's what keeps me going. And when I go out of the growth mindset, I'm like, oh wow, I'm really all about myself right now. But you see other areas of your life start to change when you're like that too. I don't know. I do. So I think everybody has that, and I think that is literally the Christian fight. And we see it in the world. We see it right now in the world, right? I mean, literally, like, what is it they say? Ain't no hate like Christian hate. Like, we flip so fast. And I say we because I'm in it too, for sure. Like, judgment comes out real quick. And and like, we judge just as fast as we serve. So it's literally this Christian battle. And we make ourselves and Jesus look not so great, but this, it's our ugly human side. I don't know.
What's a way that we can make that better?
I'm working on that. On that. Honestly, you just have to be grounded, right? You have to be dedicated and grounded. Like right now, I'm just trying to do the simplest thing of in the morning, like the Bible and the phone literally sit right beside each other, right? Like it is a big choice of which I choose in the morning because it sets the day.
It does.
And it's like a fight for me. I don't know about anybody else, but literally it's like, what are you grounding yourself with? Is it TikTok or is it like the Word of God? And I'm going to tell you, it's a struggle.
It definitely is. And people don't talk about that. They don't talk about, because I feel like a lot of the Christians, or at least pastors or whatever I talk to, they make it seem like it's so easy.
Oof. I hope it is for them. It's not for me.
I hope it is, yeah. But nobody talks about that.
I think it's the hardest thing, but it's also the most impactful thing. Like, the world talks, commonly, do your meditations, do your yoga, do your reflections, do your, manifest those verses, like that kind of thing. But as Christians, like, are we doing the same thing pointed toward God? Like, not always.
Yeah.
Not always. Like, we have more rituals outside of our Christianity than we do inside. I don't know.
Very true.
Those are areas I'm working on, at least. That's
and that's what I appreciate about you. You don't make it seem like you built the perfect life for yourself, or like that you have everything figured out. I appreciate that.
It's a journey.
Thank you. We need more of that.
We're trying.
What has been the most fulfilling part in this job? Let's take it job by job.
Oh, all right. Fair. Okay.
What was the most fulfilling part of serving in missions?
That's interesting because I gained so much, especially the last couple of years working in missions. Like, the people I worked with, these guys changed my life forever. Like, I wasn't expecting that, because I'm trying to, like, change students and, like, give you this opportunity to change your life. And honestly, like, the students I got to work with and the staff I got to work with, like, forever imprinted on my heart, for sure. And just, like when I say that, we were really intentional about trying to walk together, like through the ups and downs of life. And it's such a privilege to be able to do that with people, right? Like authentically do it with people, like through the breakups, through this, through that. And that was it. That was meaningful for me, right? Like when I look back of that section, I'm going to remember like the students who shared with me things that like I feel super privileged, the tears, and then the same for me, right? For some of the students and the staff around me.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's surprising to me, I guess. And maybe that's why it's more powerful too, because I wasn't ready. I don't think I was ready for the depth of community I experienced.
What about your dean job? When you were dean, what was the most, I guess the answer could be the same.
It could be, yeah. There's something though, I don't know if it was my first love, is my first job or whatever, but my heart will always like be in deaning. Wow. Like I want to be this old granny that goes back and does it again, but I don't know, we'll see.
Who knows, maybe that's your next step.
Yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know. I think too, I made so many mistakes in the dorm, right? I was young, like I was learning. I think I was like 24 when I started. Wow. So the ups and downs of that, but again, the same thing of like privilege, like one of the most meaningful experiences. I got a phone call from a teacher that said, hey, I had this student that was sick. Do you think you'd just go check on her, see if she needs anything? Sure, right? I'm in the middle of paperwork, so I guess, I'm finishing it up, and I'm like, I'm just going to go now. Hike up to 3rd floor, good old Lamson. And then I knocked on the door, and she answered, and she said, I'm going to kill myself. I'm done, right? And I was not ready. But literally right then, I was like, oh, Jesus, help me with every word that comes out of my mouth, right? I think at that moment, it was like a culmination of, you think you're just doing a job, right? I didn't have to go then to check on the student, but God like impressed me, just go now. I was like, that's a simple thing, right? Like I fight those kind of things all the time. Like, oh, it's 3rd floor. I don't want to walk up 3 flights, these kind of things. Like that was huge to me because I realized like these interactions and the privilege of having these interactions this is spiritual warfare. This is real, right? You don't know what's going on with 600 girls in the dorm, but if you are called, go. So that for me was like, wow, I can be used in a positive way, right? God, thank you for just using me in this. And then also like being able to walk with the students who are, struggling like that and actually get them help. And it's the coolest thing ever. It's the most beautiful thing. Social work, my love of social work came from those kind of interactions.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Those are meaningful for sure.
Absolutely. I think it's the change that we can make if we just let ourselves be inconvenienced. Because like you said, it's 3rd floor. Like that's such a long trek.
Right? There's no elevator.
Yeah, that's another big thing. But yeah, just letting yourself feel that inconvenience to impact somebody else's life. And that's what I think that we've lost. I don't know if it's just in my generation or just as a society, but a lot of people become very, like I said, they become very selfish and just think about themselves, which I think it's a good thing, but they make it so much about like, well, me and I'm the prize and everybody else, if you're not doing anything for me, we're not going to be friends anymore. But I think a big thing that we've lost is just letting yourself feel that inconvenience and doing things for other people instead of just taking.
Yeah. I don't really know how we got there as society either, right? Like it seems like it was such a slow transition. How did we get to thinking only about ourselves piece by piece?
I don't know. I think people were just so scared of feeling like used, I guess. And so I think it's a form of protection.
That's interesting.
Because I've definitely had the struggle before too. I'm not it's a daily choice, I think, to think about other people and to do things for other people that inconvenience, and that stepping out of your comfort zone, which is also, it's related to missions, and why I think a lot of people are not doing missions because they don't want to feel that inconvenience. It's a big thing. And
that's the big choice, right? But we make those choices in the smallest times. Like we're choosing either to take the easy route or the hard road, right? And a lot of communication is like that, right? We can just not have that hard conversation, and then we can just not, we make these small decisions that actually add up, and then we're just living this comfortable life, but not growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like that's what they say about the very surface level of friendships and relationships. But what do you actually get out of that?
Yeah. Loneliness, honestly.
Yeah, because you feel like nobody actually gets you because you don't let yourself
right
be seen in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
big. That's a big thing why I started these podcasts.
You should write a book. This is good. I like this. I was like, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's next.
I think a big thing about your story is you jump into things before you feel like you're ready, which is something that I definitely appreciate about you, and I think is very rare to find, because I think a lot of people, they worry about, I'm not ready, and so they don't end up doing anything because they're scared or they're waiting for that moment to feel ready.
Yeah.
And so with that, what's something that you've had to deal with that you might have not expected?
That's good. I like what you said, but let me just tell you, part of the reason I jump into things is because I'm so scared of living with regret. So, everything balances out. But if you're so afraid of regret, you're just starting things. Yeah. I mean, we talked about the level of friendships. I definitely did not expect that. I'm kind of I'm an independent person, right? So there's a lot of like, I don't need a team. Let me just do it myself. Yeah. It'll be faster. It's more efficient. It'll
be done right.
This is my arrogant side. Yeah, like I'll just do it the way I want it. That's the change day and mission part. I got real humbled there because what I could not do was do it myself. There was literally not enough time. So like every excuse I had in my mind of why, like I went through these things of, wow, you're just not working hard enough. You're not doing good enough, right? And like all this self-doubt and self-blame. And then I just realized like, hey, how about you rely on someone and trust them enough to help you, right? And that was it's a growing curve for me, for sure. I'm not good at community. I know my family, super independent. Community is very hard for me. So I think that has been the most unexpected thing of not just the realization that it is needed in my life, greatly needed, but that it enriches my life, and that you got to give and get and give and take, and like it's a beautiful thing. But I'm still definitely learning it. Yeah. Because the default's always like, just do it yourself, just be by yourself. It's just safer that way, right?
Yeah. If there was something that someone would take away from the years that you've been working here, and just something that you want to leave, as I guess you've kind of left Andrews a little bit, even though you're still here, what's something that you would want to leave with them?
It's such a big question, right? Yeah. You're like, as I say it, what if I think of something else? But no, I think there's probably two things. And one of them is that, you may find yourself lost while you're here at Andrews, right? I think a lot of students have found themselves lost, thinking that they knew what they wanted, and then it wasn't turning out the way they thought, right? That happens in a lot of our lives, but that God has a purpose in the chaos if you surrender it to him. I really fully believe that. And if you just lean into that and trust it, because he cares so much about people, and people just don't believe that he is all invested in them, right? Because the world tells you that's not the case, but it's such a lie. So just that you are valuable and that you have a purpose here, for sure. And then the other thing would be, if you're feeling comfortable, it's a bad thing, right? Like you get it for a second, but then it's time to push yourself, because like I was saying, like you have to be brave enough to live outside your comfort zone. I think that here we can get really comfortable in our Adventist bubble and in our lovely United States with everything we want and 2-hour Amazon orders. Like this is too easy. It's too easy. And there's way too much need in the world for young people to retire in a comfortable setting, right? Like, oh my goodness, college kids have like the most passion, honestly, so much influence, so many skills. And when they step back and go, hey, you know what? It's just not for me. That's not my personality. That's not my strengths quest. You know what I mean? Like, okay, no, like you have to step in the ring. Like, do it. Go. Make yourself uncomfortable. Be brave enough for that. Wow. That's my soapbox. Get off of it.
No, that's a big thing. I feel like definitely I needed to hear that.
But you're doing it. That's what's so cool, right? Like, it's not easy to start podcasts and like you're doing it. You took the steps. Yeah. It's not, you're going to learn as you go. Great. But you're in the ring. That's awesome. It's
Thank
awesome.
You. It's definitely been a big learning thing. Because, I think I think I'm a lot like you in that way, where I just kind of start things, and I just see where it goes from there and just improve it from there. But
Yeah.
I find that I don't really get stuck in the mindset of, oh, it has to be perfect when I start it, because I think the most important thing is just to start it and then improve while you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're similar. It's beautiful. I like it.
If there was a student that maybe didn't feel like they were maybe the right fit or like knowledgeable enough to do missions, what would you say to them?
Oh, yes. That's such a great question. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
That thing doesn't exist. That whole like perfect, I'm a Christian now. Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. No, it's not a thing at all. Like literally everybody finds their strengths while they're fumbling out in the field. Like education majors will go. Good for them. They know how to teach, right? They come back, they're like, oh, Lord, I never want to teach kids again, right? But it's actually a good thing. Yeah. That's what we don't realize is like, hey, they learned they like one-on-one conversations better than being up front. Like, it's in that ring where you find strengths or you save yourself 3 years of credits that you didn't need. Like, go try it, you know? And there's no perfect Christian. And if they say it, it's a lie. Like, my gosh, no. Spirituality is messy, ugly, and real, just like us humans. So you learn as you go, but it's cool that you're walking with God. Yeah.
I will add this last question because it's something that Sophie actually talked about.
Yeah.
She was stressing the fact that you don't have to feel like talking to those people that might not feel a specific pull to go to a specific like island or country. And so she said that they might feel discouraged to like maybe not go at all because they don't feel that pull. What would you suggest? Or I guess have you experienced that at all?
Yeah, like some students, you know, they would come and they'd say, hey, I know I want to go. I have no idea where. And some would have a preference of cultures, right? Because we'll talk about your interests. I think, you know, God created different interests in different cultures. And it's, you know, if you always love Peruvian food, hey, that could be a hint. Like maybe you want to go experience that. That's okay, right? So we look for like cues like that. And sometimes also, you know, there actually have been some students where like we can never settle on a place, right? There's just too many options. That's such a fine line. And those students are actually the hardest because I think the devil's working of like too many options. Let me just discourage you, like you said, and some don't go. But the problem with that is like you probably would have been excellent in any of those places because God's going to put you where he wants you, but you can serve in a lot of different places, right? Sometimes the abundance of choices is really a hard thing, but that's where you lean into. I used to lean into some of the fun things. People act like you have to be like like so serious and so tortured in mission. Like, no, it can be fun. Like, so we look at all the angles. Like, do you have family in the country? Do you have friends in the country? Have you always wanted to learn a language? Do you just need to get away? Like, that's okay. Like, God's going to use you anywhere. So just go. And if it's really that bad, you can always switch. I mean, genuinely, right? Like, you're not trapped anywhere. So
that's good. That's a big thing that you said about it, like allowing it to be fun, because I've heard a lot of people, they kind of maybe not subconsciously make it hard on purpose, but they want to feel like in order to get that student missions like story and testimony, it kind of has to be hard, and so maybe they make it harder on themselves. So I like that you make the importance of letting it be fun.
It's actually really hard on the students that come back that have served like in the US, right? Like, so they go to an academy and they're like, well, I didn't have that trauma experience, right? Like, I don't have that crazy story. But that doesn't mean they didn't have an impact, right? Doesn't mean they didn't learn something. There's different challenges. And I think that's the whole thing. It's this journey of missions. It doesn't stop when you come back either. Like, I'm sure Sophie's processing this right now. It takes a while, right? Like, that chapter ended, but you're still a missionary. You are for life. Like, once you gave your heart in this, you know, it's there forever.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time. I loved hearing about your perspective and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I think it's a cool thing that you're having this and just having good discussion about the different forms of ministry. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. We need it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you want to support this podcast and you want to hear more episodes like this, or if you have suggestions for the next episodes, please let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. We want to hear from you and any opinions that you might have. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.